coming on tonight. We are doing a panel style where we are going to be interviewing Andrea, Candace, and Alina. And to start off, the idea is tonight, like how they work their business when life is busy and full and in busy seasons and all the things. So that is the thing, and that is kind of like the topic of the night. So if you have any questions related to that, definitely drop it in the group chat and we'll ask that throughout. Let's get started by introducing yourself briefly in case somebody doesn't know who you are and how long you've been coaching. We'll start with Candace.
Okay, Candace Dudley, and I've been coaching for 2.5 years now, but I was a discount coach for like 3 years prior to that. So I'm almost to 6 years this spring, probably. Was that your only questions? Okay.
Andrea?
I am Andrea. I've been coaching for over 5 years, and I already forgot what other questions I was supposed to answer.
I think that's what I asked.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly my question.
Hi guys, I'm Alina. I've been coaching for 6 years, and I started coaching the day that I started my fitness journey with Beachbody. So I didn't ever try a program. I didn't even know about Beachbody before I got started, right when I got started as a coach.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start out with, what is the best tips that you have when you are short on time? And we can go in the same order that we started with.
Okay, short on time. So I feel like that's kind of constant, especially if you're working, maybe you're a parent, maybe you have more than one job, whatever. So I always like to have a few things prepped. One is I always have some pictures saved in my phone that I can use with a post, so that that's never an excuse at the end of the day that I can't post because I don't have an image to go with it. So I keep pictures saved. I try to have a couple posts ready, like as backups if I'm not feeling it that day, to be able to write a new one. And then also the nice thing is, once you're a year in, Facebook will just start popping up memories. And then if you have a good post, you can kind of tweak it. So that's handy too. Don't be afraid to reuse those. People honestly don't remember. And then I get up early and I use that time and I kind of do like a power hour, but I'll like cram it all in super fast. And then so that I hit everything on the tracker. Once I do that, then if I end up with more time throughout the day, then I'll go back and do those things longer, but I don't ever want to miss any part. So I make sure I do it in like a speed round first and then see what the day allows.
If you haven't done one of Candace's power hours, I highly recommend it, because no joke, you get that baby done in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, we have some recorded too. We have links to them we can share.
Okay, so I will just say that you are never 100% busy every single day of your life, but there are days that are packed. I would say 90% or more, you actually do have at least an hour of your day that you could remove social media scrolling. You could multitask while you're cleaning your house. You could be doing personal development. Like, there are so many ways to life hack your way into finding time and creating time. But on the days that you truly are just slammed with other responsibilities, I say you cut the fluff, you wake up early, you work out and you eat well that day, you post about it, and you send 3 invites. That's it. On your busiest days, you take care of yourself, you post on social media, and you send 3 invites. Done. And you can go to sleep knowing that you moved your business forward. That's it.
All right, it's always worse being last on the panel, because it's like, well, yeah, I was going to say that and that and that. But I am going to echo the wake up early for sure, because that is absolutely an easy way to be able to get in some work time, regardless of what your day is going to look like. So you always have, no, that's okay. I don't need to go first next time. You always have, you know, different days. Your days are always going to look a little bit different, and some days are obviously going to have more time than others, but you control what time you wake up. So if you're looking at your day and it's super busy, you can set your alarm clock a little bit earlier that day. And I think if you haven't read, and we're going to talk about mindset books here in a little bit, but The Miracle Morning is a great one to reframe your mindset around mornings, because I know for so many people, and myself included, like our thoughts around waking up early and how much sleep we need can be a real limiting factor for us when it comes to growing our business and taking care of ourselves and making our health and fitness journey a priority. So I really do think that finding those times in your day, but if you need to wake up a little bit earlier, do that. Also, working from a list is huge for me, because I am very scatterbrained, and like if I have a lot going on and I have a few minutes to work, a lot of times I feel like there's so much to do, I just don't even know what to do. So then I just kind of end up wasting time. So if I work from a list, I'm so much more effective with what I actually accomplish. And a lot of times, you guys, you won't have an hour like start to finish to work, you know, straight through, but you might have 6-10-minute pockets in your day that you can sit down and you can bust out, you know, expanding your network, sending your invites. Those are the things that, like, it doesn't take, you don't have to have it all in one sitting. So, but if you're working from a list and you're working off the vital behaviors, you'll be able to find time in your day, make time in your day every day to make it happen.
Love it. Great tips. Let's see. What is the best piece of advice you've heard along the way?
I just think done is better than perfect is one of the top ones for me. I a lot of the times will think like, oh, I need this spring or this fall when school is starting. I was like, I just need like to do the 20-minute workouts in Lift 4 for like September, because I just can't, like, this is ridiculous. And then I'm like, oh, that could be a group. So I talk about it on my stories and see if anybody reaches out. They do. And then I figure out what the group will be. So done is always better than perfect. And just jumping, like I didn't even have a group planned. I did this to Brittany last week. We had been talking about running a free group about revamping your morning. And so I went on my stories and made a post, and then told Brittany that we were going to need to get that group ready for tomorrow. So anyways, just jump before you're ready, and and our images, Brittany didn't make them because I was the one who had time and they're killing her, but it does not need to be perfect. Done is better than perfect, and you just learn by doing and jump before you're ready. Those would be my 3.
Mine is that your belief muscle is actually your biggest superpower. If you really check in with your heart, and you can have the lip service of like, I think I can do this. I can be a good coach. I can be successful. But when you really look inside, if you don't actually believe that at your core, it's never going to happen. It's always going to be just out of reach. Or why can't I sign up that coach? Why can't I go Emerald? Why can't I go Diamond? It's because there's something inside of you at your core beliefs of who you are and what you're capable of that is holding you back. And it sounds woo-woo. It sounds fluffy. But you guys, if you don't actually believe it and you don't put that energy out there and you aren't leading with just this unshakable belief that you were meant to change other people's lives, it will always come across as like grasping for it or desperate. Like, you guys are freaking amazing. Do you understand? I mean, we could get real deep here and be like, you started out as a ball of cells and you are now walking around coherent, talking to other people on a spinning ball in the middle of the universe, and you're selling yourself short that you can't do this. You can do this. And once you take that leap and you believe it and you show up in your social media with that unshakable belief, that's when the magic starts happening. I have chills all over my body right now because I have gone in seasons of self-doubt, and then finally I'm just like calling BS on myself. And then I open up my belief and I get messages in my inbox. It's like so crazy, you guys. And it happens every time I kick myself in the butt. Like, what are you doing? Why are you believing these lies? This is your truth. And it's like, God is just like, okay, now here they are, because you actually believe that you were placed here for a reason. It's amazing. And once you believe it, you will experience it.
So good, guys. Okay, so I have a two-parter. The first thing is that the fastest way to success is to massively fail your way there. The more mistakes you make, the faster you're going to get to figure it out and to figure out what does work. So this is kind of the like jumping before you're ready and doing it before it's perfect. It's just figuring it out as you go and being willing to step in and make those mistakes and look funny and mess up and just fail your way there. Okay to suck in the beginning. If you look back at anybody's journey that's been doing this for a while, from where they started to where they are now, if they've been consistent in growing and failing, you will see that there is a massive difference in how they showed up and what types of things they posted and what their messages looked like from the beginning to now. It's, I get embarrassed looking at those first posts that I made, but it works, and it was done, and it didn't have to be perfect. It helped me grow, and it helped me develop and build the skills that I needed to be successful in the business. So the faster you're willing to fail, and the more you're willing to fail, failing forward, the faster you're going to succeed. Now, with that, my second part of that, one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard in this business, I heard it the first month I became a coach. The only way to truly fail in this business is to quit. And I have told myself that so many times over the last 6 years. The only way to fail is to quit. The only way to fail is to quit. It doesn't matter what types of things you're telling yourself are failures. Whether you wanted to hit Success Club and you didn't, whether you had a major goal and you didn't hit it, it doesn't matter. The only way you truly fail in this business is if you give up and you walk away from it. So that's one of the best pieces of advice that I have hung on to for forever, and that I will continue to remind myself of that. So that's what I got.
So good. All of it, you guys. Favorite PD?
My favorite of all time, because it was my first one and it hooked me on personal development, was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. That's my favorite of all time. But now I go back and forth between Grant Cardone and Gabby Bernstein, which they're 100% different. But those are the two, like literally anything by both of them.
I also have two, and I've read both of them multiple times. One is You're a Badass at Making Money, not the yellow book, the green book. It is mind-blowingly life-changing, and every time I read it, it's like a whole new set of levels open up for me. And then Stories That Stick by Kendra Hall. So good. If you struggle, if you have the belief that you struggle with writing, listen to that book or read the book. I loved it on Audible. She's the best storyteller. I mean, her job is telling stories, and she teaches you how to tell stories in your posts and how to catch people like right away and draw them in and gather their emotions and get those emotions going so that they make a decision to actually take the leap. Stories That Stick. So good.
Yeah, I will definitely say that if you haven't read Compound Effect, that one is truly one of those ones that's going to help you build the habits and the mindset with habits. That was also, I think, the first book or one of the first PD books that I read too, and I've read it many times over. But one of the recent books that I've read that I've already listened to a couple times through, and I've gotten something new from it every single time I sit down and turn it on, is The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. That one's also by Darren Hardy. And it's so good because it talks about the mindset of like being up and down and how to stay consistent and steady and what's truly important to move your business forward. And he's got just a lot of things that like I've never heard it framed that way, or I've never thought about it that way. It's just been a super, super inspiring book. So I highly recommend that one.
Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. Is that what you said it was? Okay. I've not heard of that one. And then how and where do you find new people to have conversations with?
New people. I find most of mine lately on Facebook. Am I still going or am I cutting out? Okay, there you guys are moving now. I find most of mine on Facebook, I think, usually like a friend of a friend. But definitely the conversations at this point are coming from doing a lot of connecting. I just this summer even started paying a friend of mine to go in my Instagram account, and for like an hour a day, she helps me comment just some compliments and like photos and add followers, so that's happening even more often. And so like that connecting piece is super huge, and I'm willing to kind of 10x it and up it and do that at this point. And so I do that myself too. But yeah, it starts from just being a human being and actually talking to people that you gravitate towards or that seem to have something in common with you. And then starting conversations like that. And then it always seems to just come up from there, I guess, is what I would say. But if people have more specific questions on pieces of that, I can dive deeper, but I'll let these guys go.
So I think the main piece of this question is, how do you essentially have new eyes on your content, new followers, new people to engage with, because you feel like maybe you've invited everyone, which I always struggle with that when people say I've literally invited everyone. Okay.
It's a limiting belief.
Really look through your Facebook friends
belief.
list. I bet you there's 100 people on there that you're like, I'm too scared to message them, so I'm just not going to. So, but if in the case that you actually have, and you are a unicorn, and you need more people to be looking at your stuff, interacting with your stuff, two main ways, in my opinion. I am not the guru, but these are my two ways. You can go on Instagram, you can follow somebody, like 3 of their pictures, and then leave a genuine comment, not a emoji or this is cute, like read their post and have a genuine comment or a question on it. That is going to build relationship and connection. Hopefully they will come back and follow you. And you would only be doing this on people that look like somebody that you would want to be friends with in real life. And then the second one, which is what I have kind of been trying to do more and more of, is really focus on creating shareable content. You can grow your following if you are creating content that is going to help other people within your niche. Like, I love a good inspirational quote or a funny quote. And so I'll create in Word Swag just a white square with black letters on it. And those always get shares and saves on Instagram every time I do it. Okay. Not every single post I'm writing is at the aim of shareable content. I hope that people share my word pictures so that then they will be like, oh, shared that, and then come to my page and be like, oh, do I want to follow this girl? So really focus on not just talking about you, but create something that's going to help someone or make someone laugh or make them think deep. Yeah, those 2 ways.
Okay. So I'm going to start by telling you what I've done that doesn't work. And that is going to, this was advice that was given across the network for a while, and maybe it worked for people for a while. But going to people's pages or friends' pages and then following all their friends, or looking through pictures and like follow, without engaging or anything like that. And then you just like rack up your numbers on who you're following and maybe get like 1 or 2 people to follow you back. It just it doesn't work. At least it doesn't work for me. But what does work is what Andrea was saying about liking, commenting, and engaging. I also love getting in on their stories. So anybody's page that I go to that has a live store or has an active story going on, I hop into the stories and I try to write a comment on the story, like not just one of those hearts or something like that, but the engagement is huge. So what's worked really well for me is to find a big account that's within like one of my pillars. So the 2 big pillars on my account are adoption and Christ followers. So I'll find big accounts like people that have over 10,000 followers, and I will go and look at their recent posts and who liked and commented on those posts. So I don't just go through their followers, because I want to bring people to my page that are going to actually be active, engaging followers. I don't just want a number on my page. So the people that are going to be active are the people that are already showing that they're taking action by liking and commenting on someone else's account. So I find somebody that talks about things that I talk about, and then I go through and I find the people, and then I go to their pages and I engage with them. So I usually try to comment on a few of their posts and like several of them, so that when they're going through their notifications, they're seeing like a whole line of things from me. And this works better, I have found, with people that don't have huge accounts, because if you're following people that have big accounts, you're just going to be a small, like they're not even going to be looking through all their notifications to see who did what on their content. So following people that have relatively small or medium-sized Instagram accounts, average people, not big Instagram celebrities. We're almost entirely over on Instagram now. I don't know. I just enjoy it more, I guess. I haven't posted much on Facebook lately.
Just one more comment. I think, like, I've talked about this with my coaches too, and I was pushing Instagram so hard, and I just, after a national wake up call, they talked about Facebook, and I'm like, yeah, I never add followers. So I just started adding a few people that were like friends of friends, and they were the type of people that were like reaching out to me, like those unicorn signups where it was like, they send you the message and you never even had to invite them. And so just don't force one certain social media platform. I mean, I had a coach a year ago go diamond by using Snapchat. Like, don't force the wherever your people are, go there. You know,
Absolutely.
because I wasn't doing all those engaging things on Facebook because I was like pumping the Instagram, and then it kind of hit me that I think that my mom, middle 30-year-old moms, they're over on Facebook. So anyways, I just wanted to add to that.
Find your people.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm going to answer this question quick. It says, what do you do if they have no recent posts or they don't post any stories? I usually don't follow them then, because they're not a very active or engaging person then on that platform. So they're probably not going to be showing up and following much of what you're doing. That's just what I do.
All right, so that is all the questions we have for tonight, unless anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask anything before we wrap up. And I'm not a teacher, so this feels really awkward waiting for you guys.
Andrea and I are like, oh, that was super quick. No time at all. It's fine.
I just need to wait a little longer for the stragglers.
Someone will ask. I also like how we instantly go into a different voice. I like that, Andrea.
A weird little voice. It's so awkward.
Anything? Anyone?
There is one other question that we had chatted about maybe talking about, and I kind of want to hear their answers. So,
Sure.
what do you wish you knew on day one? Candace?
I think that I just wish I knew that it was so much easier than I thought it was. That it didn't need to be this hard thing. Uh, it took me forever to hit Success Club. It took me forever. Am I frozen? No? Okay. People are like freezing. You guys just aren't moving tonight, I guess. It took me forever to hit Success Club. It took me forever to get to Emerald, and I shouldn't say forever, but many, many months and many, many months to get to Diamond. And I feel like once I got to all the places, I was like, that's it. Like, you just keep doing what's on the Success Club tracker. I just know that I went to every training, every YouTube training, every team call, and I was waiting for someone to tell me the secret. And then I finally went to Summit, and I was like, they are definitely going to share the secret because I'm doing all the things. There's going to be a secret. And there wasn't. And so I just think, like, don't make it hard. You just need to be you as much as you can and fail forward and show up, and then invite people to join you. Like, it's such a fun job, and it's and it's just not hard. So just don't make it hard. I made it so hard to begin with, but it's not hard.
Candace, what would you say to the girl who is doing all the things but feels like it's not paying off?
Then, okay, I felt like this, and I think that you have got to sit down and find your joy, find your gratitude, and work on your mindset, because there is a piece in there that you do not believe that you can actually do the big things and be the top coaches and quit your job and all. Like, there is a piece that's left, and if you're not willing to admit it, then that maybe you aren't, because I don't know that I thought I had the belief, but you have to go and work the belief. But then don't forget about joy, because it's the best job ever and it should be fun. You should get up in the morning like, that is awesome that I get to do this. And then the gratitude. You have any new conversation, I instantly stop. I'm like, oh, thank you, Susie, for oh gosh, I'm so glad that Susie reached out today. Or the $14 Emerald cycle in your paycheck. Thank you for that. Like, if you don't show some gratitude for some of the small things, then they're not going to keep coming. And it's just the small things that add up into the big things. So that's my answer. Is that the answer?
That was amazing. I'm going to quickly just share what I wish I would have knew on day one, because my whole first year, I felt like I basically drug everyone along with me on my joy train. Not everyone was really wanting to be on it. The people that you start with are not who you end with. But in the beginning, you have to practice signing people up so that you can get in your groove. And maybe all of them are discount coaches in the beginning, but don't cling on to them thinking like, you're going to bring me to Diamond. Like, they might, but they might cancel 2 months later. Like, don't get attached to everybody. Like, just find the joy in it and just be like, okay, they cancel it, I'll just find more people. No big deal. I'm going to find more people.
Yeah, I love it. Those were good. All right, guys. Mine is that you don't have to want what they want. You don't have to want what any other coach wants in this business. Your goals do not have to look like any other coach's goals in this business. You don't have to shoot for top coach. You don't have to want to be an all-star legend. You don't have to want to be in the millionaires club. You can want whatever you want with this business. And when you start running after your own goals and your own vision for your business, that's going to be where you find the motivation to want to show up when things don't feel like they're moving forward, or when things feel like they're slow, or when you feel like you've hit a roadblock, or like when you feel like quitting. That's going to be when you find your goal and you're chasing your goal for the business. That will be when you stick around and you don't you don't quit. So take a real look at what it is that you're shooting for and ask yourself if it's what you really want or if it's what people around you have been telling you to want in the business. As a coach, you get to make this whatever you want it to be. So find your vision for your life and find where coaching fits into that.
Love it. So good. I do have one more thing that kind of crossed my mind. I am curious to know what you do if someone decides that they're going to go with another coach and not you. I just want to know how you handle that.
That happened to me this week. Literally yesterday. It happens all the time. And I think it can, chip the old ego for a second, but find more people. They must not have been meant to be with you right now. So I don't know. You can't hold on to it because that energy will block anybody else who's supposed to be with you. And I don't want that.
You throw your pity party. Prime example of this, I had a girl who was a discount coach on my team for over a year, decided to cancel it, and I didn't see the email come through, didn't know she had canceled, and she started posting about groups and hosting groups, like all in business coach, like from 0 to 60. Then I see the email come through that she canceled, and I'm like, what the crap? She signed up under her boyfriend, under a different coach, on a different team, decided to build a business, even though I'd been, whatever, former student, like all the things. I had to go through all the emotions. I had to be pissed and angry. And then I had to block her so I wouldn't ever see her stuff again because I didn't need that energy in my life. And like Candace said, like they weren't meant to be there. Yeah, it hurts for a second. Feel the hot, like tears in your eyes, and then just be like, bye, Felicia. Find more people.
Okay, so I have another two-part answer. So first part is along the lines of like the idea that they sign on as a customer, or even they choose to work with another coach. I've had that happen a number of times, and it does hurt for a minute. Another really good book that came to mind that I think everybody should read is this one, The Miracle Equation. This is the author, Hal Elrod. He also writes The Miracle Morning, but this is so good. And he talks about having a five minutes. You can feel your feelings for 5 minutes and then you're done. And then you move on because it's not going to serve you to sit in that and waste your time. But also people are going to have the most success when they sign on with the coach that is most like them or that they feel most connected with. And we want that for people. So bless and release that. Know that it just wasn't your person. But I've also had the other side of this where I've had people that I was too afraid or I just didn't invite sign up to be coaches. And you guys, one of those girls is the best friend of my high school best friend who she was super into fitness, but I never invited her. She's a 5-star diamond coach now under somebody else. And so it just use that as motivation, like realize that all the people that you're not inviting, somebody else is. So let that kind of fuel you to like get those invites out.
All right. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. Andrea?
We're gonna do this again. Somebody else will be interviewing and we'll just kind of rotate, and so I'm done with team calls. Alina and I are for this month, but Candace, are you hosting your team calls the next 2 Sundays and we're gonna do something similar to this? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing, right, Brittany, can we stay up for 2 more Sundays at 8:00 for this? Yeah, that's our plan. And then take the 29th off for Thanksgiving. That was what our original plan is.
Okay, so we're going to do it again. If you enjoyed this, I hope you show up live. we'll just keep.
We'll have different topics, different questions.
Yes. Have a good night, guys.